Hello, everyone. I hope's all doing well. Um, just doing a Q&A as always. Um, this time I am not going to do an invite like last time, maybe for a little while, because I don't want no trolls or hackers or anything like that. But you guys can ask me anything. Hello, Gus. Did you hear what I just said? Oh shit. New 15 subscribers. 100 total. Yeah, it's crazy. Not this time, Gus, because of last time. Maybe for a little while, maybe 2 weeks from now. Because I'm still gonna do Q&A, but no invites. Because like I said before, I don't want no trolls coming. Well, then again, you don't know, Gus. Hey, Dark Rex. Anyway, so then again, you don't know what last time, because trolls, I mean, they're kind of smart, but they're dumb at the same time, but mostly smart. At least I think so. Um, so we're back. Gorilla versus Deinonychus. Um, um, and Skullcrow or small ones versus the Enormous Rex. To be honest, Deinonychus would win because it's huge. It's bigger than a gorilla. Um, and the skull crawlers. I think that the smaller ones would probably give the Indominus Rex a run for its money, and I do think that they would win. But the Indominus Rex would still do a little bit of damage because of her sharp claws. So I'm gonna say the skull crawlers. Did you block him last time? Yes, I did. But then again, he might, you know, um, go to another he might create another channel, and if I do that, he'll create another channel again and again and again. So that's why, for now, I'm not doing the invite live stream. I'm not. Maybe next week. I don't know. Have you seen two lions take down a hippo? I heard that there are a couple of male lions who took down a hippo. The Mopojos, I believe. Yeah, the Mopojos. I heard that they have been known to kill hippos. And back in the day, the Mopojos were a big coalition, but apparently they passed away. But there were like four of them. I believe there was Makulu, Roster, Mr. T, Kinky Tail. Roster, Mr. T, Kinky Tail. Makulu. And Dreadlock. Yeah, that's his name, Dreadlock. At my school, I had a crazy classmates. Yeah, well, what do you expect? My favorite hadrosaur would have to be Montosaurus because it's T-Rex's favorite prey. I don't know why. I like Montosaurus, but it's a cool animal. I also like Shudtungosaurus because it's the biggest, or it's one of the biggest of the hadrosaurs. Apparently, it's like 50 feet long and much heavier than even some theropod dinosaurs like T Rex. So that's a pretty scary animal. I think that Shudtungosaurus is probably the only duckbill that would give Tyrannosaurus a hard time. Although, yes, I heard that there are some specimens of Edmontosaurus that could have been longer than T Rex or heavier, but then again, I don't know about too much of Edmontosaurus, but I should because since I like T Rex, you should study about the prey animals. I heard that they made some fake stories. Just ignore them. true, Shittungosaurus was. I just find it hard to believe that Shittungosaurus was 16 to 20 tons. I mean, I don't know. And I do think that Paleoxodon would win against the Shittungosaurus because, it's a giant freaking elephant that's almost the size of a freaking sauropod. And it has tusks, not to mention, since it's an elephant, like, if it went musk, it would easily. I mean, I wouldn't say easily, but it would give Shittungosaurus like a run for its money. Even those tusks can probably damage the duckbill. Even Paraceratherium. I mean, the only thing that Paraceratherium that could have done is that it could have used its neck and just like hit the Paleoxodon by the stomach, but that was pretty much it. But Shittungosaurus, man, I don't know. Is there any papers to prove that Shittungosaurus was 16 or 22 tons? Yeah, 66 million years, but it lived in China. Oh, I'm not going by Wikipedia because Wikipedia is bullshit. I'm using this paper called Prehistoric Wildlife. (15 to 16.5 meters long. And let's see here. It doesn't say the weight. Let's say the weight of this animal. Shit. 1973. Wait. It was 12 to 20 tons in this one. According by students. Yeah, I just yeah. Oh. I heard that Shittungosaurus tail weighed up to 4 tons. That's crazy. I don't know. Maybe. I'll see. Now here's the question, Dark Rex. Could a mating pair or maybe a gang of Zutang Tyrannus take down a Shittungosaurus? Because I think it's possible, but the only thing is, of course, that they would go after juveniles and injured ones. But if they were desperate, would they take down a healthy male that's been separated from the herd, like a bachelor that's been separated from the herd? To be honest, I think it depends, really. But yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Gus. Um, but to be honest, like I think that like it really depends. Really, I think that the Zutang Tyrannus would just like bite the legs. Like I think that they would both take turns by attacking the giant duckbill, but if they didn't, then I think that the duckbill would destroy one of them. But then again, I mean, well, then I don't know. You see, I always thought that usually the bigger tyrannosaurs may have not lived in gangs, but then again, I mean, look at T-Batar, Tarbosaur slash um, um, slash Tyrannosaurus Batar. Um, there's some fossil evidence that they work together, so yeah. Have you watched out? I watched Avatar many years ago. I actually watched it in theaters, but that was actually the only time I watched it. It was pretty good on the Thandero. Thandero? I never seen it, Gus. 101, a bull Giganosaurus would probably be too big for Wu-Tang Tyrannus, but 2 or 3 would probably do it if they were desperate. Well, I mean, yeah, it is. It is possible. So I would probably agree that I yeah, it is possible that like I think 2 or 3 Shitongosaurus would win. I mean that Zootang Tyrannus would win. Oh, that thing. It's pretty cool. I heard it has like venom teeth. Like it's a badass looking animal. Yeah, I think that the only defense that duckbills would actually have against Tyrannosaurid, well, against yeah, Tyrannosaurids, would have to be their tails. But that's pretty much it. And I'm talking about the big guys. The smaller ones can just flee. As for the big guys like Chitongosaurus and even a Montosaurus, I guess the tails would be their only defense. But that also depends on if Monosaurus was, let's just say, if it was off guard, or if T Rex was too late from the chase, then Monosaurus would run like hell. Yeah, it could also stand because Chitongosaurus is bigger, so it can make itself bigger against a pair of Zutang Tyrannus. Yeah, it is a little bit because I guess it's because of the coloring, but it's not. The Indoraptor's not venomous. Um, the tigers are pretty cool. There was a comic book I read, the prequel comic book that Kong actually killed one of the tigers. To be honest, my favorite creature aside from Kong, to be honest, I kind of like that buffalo-like creature. It looked pretty cool looking. Yeah, anyways, it looked pretty cool. Like it's like a giant Cape buffalo on steroids, and it's a peaceful animal. Although I think it was killed by one of the skullcrawlers. I think it was the big one. Is it true the skullcrawler was bigger? To be honest, I don't know. I think that who really knows? I would like. Yeah, it would be a competitive fight, but I think that Fandoro, that panther animal, whatever it is, would win because of its venom, and it's bigger than the Indoraptor. The only competitive fight that it would have is Rexy, because it's kind of the same size as Rexy, I believe. Maybe a little smaller than Rexy. I think that the Indominus Rex would destroy that creature because even though that creature is venomous, the Indominus Rex has armor. So yeah. So I would think that the Indominus Rex would destroy that thing, possibly. Not to mention the Indominus Rex is a highly intelligent animal, so yeah. Really, it does? I have to look that thing up because I haven't heard it in quite a while. Hey, Land Before Time, 75. Oh, Dark Rex. If you're still watching, can you do a video of Mufasa from 2019 versus 2016 Shere Khan from the Jungle Book? Because I would like you to make a video of that. That would be very interesting. Because I still kind of hear about it, and I still like to talk about this debate, really, because it's pretty interesting. Because they're both the same size and they're both the same muscle mass. But anyways, what's up, Land Before Time? Speaking of which, I was a couple of weeks ago. I was watching. Well, not watching, but I was like looking at trailers from Land Before Time. It's pretty cool. Hold on. Oh, interesting video. Wednesday. If the video doesn't go upload before Wednesday, it's because of school. I wouldn't go that far. I think that, I mean, even though the Shere Khan beat, almost killed Baloo, Shere Khan would not win against a um a Artotosimus and Artotherium. They're just too much. Shere Khan's like, my guess he's in the 600 or 700 pound range, and Mufasa's like 550 to 600 pounds. So yeah. Hey Josh, I was watching How to Train Your Dragon series, and yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, I seen quiet because I was commenting on some person, um, someone on the internet. Excuse me for 1 second. All right, I'm back. On CGI and motion capture, I think it depends on the CGI and motion capture. Who would win? Shere Khan, King Louis, the giant, Ka. I think that although there was no feats with King Louis that much, and although like King Louis is a Gigantopithecus, I still think that Shere Khan would still beat up King Louis. And as for Ka, um, since Ka was killed by Baloo, and since Baloo was almost killed by Shere Khan, um, Shere Khan would easily destroy Ka. Ka can just like fear Shere Khan. As for like King Louis, it really depends. Really, although there was no much feats with him, but he was just really freaking big. But I do believe that Shere Khan would probably maybe chase away King Louis or something. I don't know. Yeah, basically, like Shere Khan is just a Bengal tiger on steroids. I don't think he's not a Nangal tiger or anything. He's just a giant, bloodthirsty Bengal tiger. That's what he is. I mean, he may look like a Nangal tiger, but he's a Bengal tiger. And that's, I guess I only have to say, really. He's just a giant Bengal tiger on steroids. Yeah, I wonder if Xenogod is going to be on my chat or comment section. In real life, a Bengal tiger beating. I don't know. I think that Gigantopithecus is just too much because when you think about it, Bengal tigers in real life are like 500 or maybe close to 600. And Gigantopithecus is, it seems to be a 2,000-pound animal. It seems like. But I think that Gigantopithecus would chase away a tiger. It's just too much. In my opinion, at least. Hey, Eric. Will you be able to make it to the screen in person for my movie? What do you mean? I'm not gonna. Oh, 2016 Ka looks like a giant. I think Ka's just a giant. Is just a freaking python. Just a giant python. Baloo is just, well, Baloo is supposed to be a sloth bear, but in terms of his design, he's just a brown bear. Or a grizzly or whatever, but yeah. Oh, Facebook. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait, Eric. Yeah, it's It's gonna be good. I I watched a little bit of that your movie. To be honest, like appearing in that movie, I kind of sucked in that movie, but then again, I don't care. This is just your video, so yeah. Cock, shut up. Who the hell are you? I'm gonna block you, troll. Oh, that's cool. It's gonna be an extended edition. You said, or a super extended edition because the one I have is just a normal extended edition, but it's gonna or something like that. It would be awesome to meet you in person. Yeah, it would be awesome. I would love to fly over there in Montana, but unfortunately, I can't do that. But that would be cool. I'm acting like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. Butthead's like my favorite character. I'm starting to get to like that show, and I watched the movie called Do America. Yeah, and I kind of act like Butthead's father, or something like that. Yeah, Butthead is hilarious. Beavis gets beat up a lot more than Butthead does. Like, Butthead just smacks him around. Like, no, not sexually, of course, but like Butthead, like, kind of beats the living hell out of him a little bit. I remember there was an episode that I watched like a couple of weeks ago, and Butthead punches Beavis in the face, and his nose starts bleeding. Maybe I can do a live stream of the director's cut on Facebook, so anybody who can't join. Yeah, maybe. Oh shit. Yeah, I had some troll. I mean, yeah, I saw some of those trolls from the 9/11 video that you did. Yeah, it's they're anti 9/11 people, I believe, in my opinion. I like how you made fun of Brat Powell in the video after the person who was talking about Brat Powell. Yeah. Well, because Matt Powell is, well, an asshole. Yeah, they are extremely disrespectful. Oh, did I told you that before the 9/11 well, the 9/11 like anniversary, when I was like minding my own business when I was driving the Gator, I see trash at the 9/11 trail and the 9/11 honor, well, like how do I say this? Those honors or graves or whatever. It's so disrespectful. It's like throwing trash at a graveyard site. That's really disrespectful. And these punky kids are doing it. Not to mention, I heard that someone pissed on the 9/11 on those on the graves or whatever. That's so disrespectful. And there were punky kids. I understand they're kids, but at the same time though, stop being disrespectful because these people died. I just find it amazing that like kids are fucking assholes. Yeah, that is screwed up. No excuse. Yeah, no excuse indeed. It's like I think that the parents are anti 9/11 people or whatever. Yeah, they died against their will. That is correct. You know, it is. And I actually made a video about this. And I took the video of those kids, well, not the kids, but like the trash at the 9/11 thing. Like it really shows that how people are always fucked up nowadays. They always like to fuck up. And it happened like every day when I drive over next to the 9/11 trail. Next day, next day, next day, there was trash still on that site. Whatever. I feel you, Bat Spidey. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I was sort of like a punky kid, but I wasn't like that. Throwing trash at the trail or at the funeral, whatever. Like, well, like the great, you know what I'm talking about. It's really ridiculous. The monument, 9/11 monument, like that's really disrespectful. Like at least I wasn't like them because I was taught better. Memorial, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Memorial, 9/11 memorial. I'm sorry. I'm not good with names or words. Well, at least that you know that people do feed ducks, and that's fine. Even though that I don't feed wildlife with towards other animals and shit, but yeah. Well, if anything, it's like throwing trash at a lake. And yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're still kind of technically kids, but we're not like 13 or 14 or 15-year-old punks anymore. We're like grown ass man adults. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong, we're still in our 20s, but still, like, yeah. I don't like anti 9/11 people. I even might make a video about that. It's like, yeah, most of us. Most of us. I mean, I'm 24. Bat Spidey's, I believe he's like 20 years old. Eric is 26 or 27. I don't know. Or 28. I don't know. Yeah, throwing garbage at the pond. Yeah, that makes sense. Because ducks might like swallow them and stuff, and it's a mess. Yeah, 28. Yeah, that is correct. You're 28. And you're 18. Well, some of us are in our 20s. Some of us. Of course, Eric's the oldest. I'm the second oldest. That Spidey is the third oldest, and Land Before Time. Yeah, you're still 17, yeah. Oh, you're 21? I didn't know that. Well, happy late month. Well, happy month birthday, you could say. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I was 17 again. Not the movie, but the age. Because 17, I kind of had fun back in the summer. Yeah. I adore you said that Mr. Batman that he Yeah, because Mr. Batman is a piece of shit. Ooh, those graves. Yeah, they are like karma. Just like how Osama bin Laden. Yeah, in my opinion, they're either bin Laden fans or just in general 9/11 um um anti 9/11 people shot. Yeah. Yeah, he deserved to die because Osama was responsible. He told his crew members to do it. Everyone hates Osama bin Laden. Exactly. He deserved it. You know what? I feel like to invite Eric Rearfaller about this conversation because since he invited Junebug Films, I'm going to invite him. So I'll be right there. Da, 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 da. There's Eric Rearfaller 92. Eric Rearfaller. Eric Rearfaller 92. Hovin. Oh, it's Atheist Junior. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Ken Hovind, like Atheist Junior makes this voice of Ken Hovind, like he says, "Oh, child molester, Ken Hovind," or something like that. It's funny that Hovind, Ken Hovind says that. Yeah, he is a piece of shit. I heard that a military dog and two crew members actually killed Osama. Well, the dog tracked Osama, but the military guys actually killed Bin Laden. I would like to decapitate Bin Laden and like try to grab him by the beard, just like Kong did to Mecha Godzilla. Hey, Eric.
Hello, what's up, man?
Nothing much.
So yeah, so I did research, and the guy who killed Osama bin Laden, his name's like Robert O'Neill, and yeah, and I can imagine that guy like must have the biggest respect out of everybody in the entire country because knowing that he killed the one man like who utterly destroyed our country within seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, it says that he retired from the Navy SEALs like a few years ago or so. But yeah, I mean,
He was a Navy SEAL? I didn't know that.
Sorry?
He was a Navy SEAL? I didn't know that.
Well, I'm not talking about Osama bin Laden. I'm
No,
talking about
not Bin Laden, but the guy who murdered him.
yeah, and normally I wouldn't say it's okay to kill people, but that's an exception.
Yeah, because Bin Laden fucked up our fucked up our country.
Yeah, I mean, what he did to our country. Oh, shoot, sorry, I dropped my phone. But yeah, knowing what he did to our country, and on top of that, knowing that man single-handedly destroyed so many families out there.
Yeah, it's
But
quite
yeah,
really. Did I
I did not feel sorry for him in the slightest.
did I told you that a girl across from my neighborhood, like 2 doors down, her father passed away from that 9.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that on my live stream last night that a girl right across the street from you lost her dad or something from 9/11.
Yeah. I think he was like the captain of the plane. I don't know. I don't know. I forget really, but I think he was like the captain of the plane, like the driver of the plane.
Wow, that is crazy, man.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, so I also did research. Apparently, Mark Wahlberg, Seth MacFarlane, both of them were supposed to be on the very, very first plane that hit the first tower. They were supposed to be on it, and apparently Michael Jackson was supposed to be on that plane too.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, those three dodged a bullet.
Yeah, it's
And
like now, like when I'm on an airplane now I feel a little scared because I don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah, and I can completely understand why, and it's completely justifiable why after that airports got a lot more. Airports got a lot more strict after that. I mean,
Yeah,
that's completely justifiable. I mean, granted, is it tedious to go through security? Yeah, but it's totally worth it though at the end.
I, I can, Gus, but the thing is, I got trolled last time, and this is just about me and Eric Vierfaller. I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything like that.
But yeah, and it really got on my nerves that people were trolling my 9/11 live stream. When it was supposed to be a live stream dedicated, to all the ones who lost their lives. Not the terrorists, but all the innocent people who died. And I feel like that maybe that this will make up for it because, I mean, you would have to be a real asshole, like to you would have to be a real asshole, like to troll a 9/11 live stream.
Yeah, you would have to. There was even a, I heard that. I think when I was at the mall, I saw like some Bin Laden shirts or something, but it was like funny Bin Laden shirts, though.
Okay, yeah, if they're funny, then I don't have a problem with that. But I remember when my dad used to work for the FBI. My dad actually gave me a dollar bill that had Saddam Hussein's face on it.
Uh,
That
Saddam.
was, yeah.
I don't know who the Saddam is.
So what? Sorry.
I don't know who Saddam is.
Saddam Hussein also is pretty notorious, and yeah, but yeah, they actually did make fun of him on South Park. Yeah, and normally I'm not for making fun of people, but for Saddam Hussein though, I think that he deserved it though.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, why Mr. Batman is worse than Cat?
Mr. Batman's just a chore to sit through.
Yeah, he is. To be honest, I think that Mr. Batman is worse than Kent because Christian Hillbilly White Trash does not. I don't know. He just doesn't let He doesn't let people talk through. Speaking of which, of Mr. Batman, have you heard of Darth Dawkins?
Yes.
I heard that Darth Dawkins is similar to Mr. Batman. He's a big asshole.
Yeah, I've seen him come up on Modern Day Debate, but I've never actually seen any of his debates. But I really wish Mr. Batman, I really wish that they would stop platforming him on Modern Day Debate, because Mr. Batman is the worst debater I've ever seen in my entire life.
Exactly, because he doesn't know what the F he's talking about.
Yeah, and all the arguments that he brings up has absolutely nothing to do with the topic. Like, I know I've said this before, but when he debated Jim Majors on the flood from the Book of Genesis, he tried making it into a debate on pedophilia. It's like, what does pedophilia have anything to do with the flood from the Book of Genesis? Nothing.
Plus, he's a drunken homophobe.
Kent Hovind can go off topic. Like, when I debated him, he tried to bring up North Korea.
Eric, I can tell you about North Korea, but communism does not work.
Yeah, I'm like, that has nothing to do with our debate. And
it's like evolution and communism do not work.
But yeah, evolution has. Can evolution explain how communism, came to be over time? By natural processes, I guess. But I guess that's the only connection I can think of. But yeah, but at least that Ken Hovind will bring up a few things. Like, when I debated him, even though they were long debunked, at least he tried to use. At least he tried to use some arguments that had to do with if dinosaurs lived with people, like the Echostones, the Cambodian Stegosaurus. Even though those have been long debunked, at least they had something to do with the topic.
Oh, and yeah, in that video, you mentioned that Kenny. Like, do you really think Kenny had long hair and a beard and shit, or is it just a made up character?
So I'm not sure. So I really don't know like what Kenny looks like in real life. So so I just had to use a bit of my imagination when I did put Kenny into my movie. So yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. That was cool. But yeah, I just kind of thought it would have been a really funny twist, like if I actually did put Kenny into my movie.
Yeah. Oh, and when I was posting a video on Facebook, I was posting a video on a clip on Facebook, a documentary, and it was a lion that was eating a whale, and he was saying something about the flood, and he said that has nothing to do with the flood.
Wait, what?
Okay, I was watching this documentary, and I recorded it on my phone, and when I posted on Facebook, Kenny said that it happened because of the flood, because of this whale was washed by the beach when this lion ate this whale.
Wow.
And it's like, that has nothing to do with the freaking flood, Kenny.
Yeah, definitely not. Holy crap. I mean, that's a Mr. Batman moment there.
So I just deleted him, but I played along with Kenny.
Kenny, at least with Kenny, at least I feel like that he's one of like those funny trolls.
Yeah, he's funny, but he's annoying as hell.
Yeah, but if I had to pick my poison, I would rather deal with Kenny rather than the trolls on my 9/11 live stream. If I had to pick my poison.
Then again, I mean, you don't even know if Kenny is a anti 9/11 guy. But then again, that's a bit too far, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to just make assumptions about him. So yeah.
Yeah. That's my fault for mentioning that.
But yeah, if he is though, definitely shame on him.
Or block him.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, I have zero tolerance like for people who think that 9/11 was just an inside job. I mean, that is such a slap in the face to everybody who tragically lost their lives against that will on that day. Okay, so some people will argue like that there were bombs inside of the Twin Towers already. Then I'm like, then well, then what was the point to even crashing the planes into the building, to the buildings in the first place if you already have a bomb in there? There's no point.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what the fuck?
And on top of that, why would America waste 10 years trying to find Osama bin Laden afterwards? 10 years it took us to find him. If it really was some conspiracy and whatnot, wouldn't they have found him sooner rather than 10 freaking years?
Well, Bin Laden was hard to find.
He was, exactly. It was because of the fact that bin Laden knew that he was the most wanted man in the entire world.
Exactly.
So yeah, and
I wonder what they did to his body.
from my understanding, they buried his body out at sea, and bin Laden's son got really upset about that. But I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy, but your dad was a scumbag.
Yeah, I mean, was his son also a terrorist?
I'm not really sure, but I hate to say, I won't be surprised if he was.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
kind of
I sure
scary.
hope not, but they're just saying like father, like son.
Yeah. Ugh. He's shark food now. Yeah, something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely would have loved to seen that. Like sharks coming out and then eating him, because he definitely deserved it. I heard that originally that they also killed his kids is because they didn't want his kids to grow up to be like him. But then when I fact checked that actually ended up not being true. They
I
did
heard.
kill his.
I heard that he killed his. They killed his wife.
Yeah, I heard that too, and I really hope that that's true because it's because his wife afterwards probably was wanting to seek revenge against us for that, which they probably should have killed his kids too, just so in that way, like that, his kids wouldn't have wanted to seek revenge on America either. And since that at least one of his kids that I saw is alive still, I hate to say it, but because of that, I'm not going to be surprised as if his kid, as much as I don't want it to happen, but I have that feeling like that he's going to plot his revenge. He like that he might try to plan the next 9/11. And now granted, I'm not saying that I want it to happen, but I'm just trying to put myself into his shoes.
Well, how old is the kid?
Let me find out. Okay, let me do some research. Okay, Osama bin Laden, Wikipedia. Okay, Osama was 54 when he died. So if he were alive now, he would be 64 now.
Yes.
Okay, spouse. Okay, so it says he's had more than one wife. His last wife, Najwa Guanhim, sorry if I mispronounced that, married in 1974, divorced in 2001. So yeah, so the same year 9/11 happened, which I like to think that maybe his wife divorced him because of 9/11. That would be rather fitting. But okay, so holy crap! It says 20 to 26 kids.
Oh, jeez.
Dang, he had a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So one of his kids named, okay, I'm trying to pronounce this, Abdullah bin Laden. I tried. So it says one of his kids is now 44 to 45 years old. And Saad, whatever, bin Laden. Okay, so Saad bin Laden died in 2009. Okay, so at least one of his kids is dead. And I can't believe I just said that. Omar bin Laden is now 40 years old. And the other kid, Hamza bin Laden, died 2017 or 2019.
Wow.
Let's see. Okay, so at least a few of his kids, from what I saw online, a few of his kids are still alive, and and that scares me because from what I saw, all of his other kids were a part of the same terrorist organization as his dad, so that horrifies me.
Man, I wish that there was a way to destroy the terrorists.
I do too, and that's exactly why America has been at this war on terror for 20 years now. I mean, this war's been going on since I was a little kid.
How did terrorists even start it in the first place?
So, from my understanding, from my research, Bin Laden and his terrorist organization, they actually did give America a few warnings, but us Americans, we were being really, really naive, and we thought they weren't going to do anything. But boy, were we severely wrong.
Man, it sucks.
It does, and none of us want to have another 9/11 happen. So that's why I strongly urge, if they're not trying to already, they seriously need to kill the rest of Osama bin Laden's kids because the last thing that I want to happen is to turn on the TV and then to hear about another deadly terrorist attack like that.
Yeah. Or the crew members.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so in your own opinion, do you think it's possible that another 9/11 could happen?
I hope not.
I really hope not either.
Yeah, because it's just I don't know. It's just a pain in the balls, really, because I just okay, like I don't know. I just it's just that I just don't want this country to be effed up again.
I don't want to either. Trust me, that's the last thing that I want. But but I mean, if they were to try to do it on a plane again, it's gonna be really, really hard to do it now. It's because of how much tighter security has, how tighter security has gotten ever since then.
Yeah. So I think that it won't happen.
If it does happen again, as much as I don't hope, as much as I hope it won't, I think either when we're really old or when it's beyond our lifetime.
Yeah. That's like saying about World War III, and I don't want another World War III.
Yeah, I've heard that people have compared the War on Terror with World War III, saying that kind of is, but not really though, because it's mostly, as far as my knowledge goes, it mostly has been between America and Iraq.
Yeah,
So
like
yeah,
I heard that there was a dog that actually came to fight Bin Laden as well. Did you know that?
well, I did not. It probably would have been a German Shepherd or something like that. And if that's true, I seriously hope like that dog bit him, and I hope that dog bit him good,
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. I think that the dog tracked him down, and the soldiers actually, well, whatever the soldier guy actually killed Bin Laden.
From my research, from my understanding, there was one Navy SEAL who shot him first. Then after that, Robert O'Neill came in, and just wanted to make sure 100% that he was dead. So and then he shot him in his head.
I don't want to Jurassic Floyd because it's just about me and Eric Vierfather.
Yeah, after how people trolled my 9/11 live stream, this is what's going to make up for it because man, that pissed me off bad.
And I got trolled the last time I got live stream, which was last week, and they were saying like there's this guy. He said that, oh, I wanted some dope, and it's like, okay, that's not my problem. And why are you mentioning drugs on my channel?
Yeah, it's like okay, we okay, cool, that's your business, and we don't really care. I remember about 3 years ago or so, there was this one troll that I had who was accusing me of not showering, and accusing me of having zits all over my face. I'm like, okay, you obviously are just saying that, just to get underneath my skin, and yeah, but yeah, and that fact that he kept going, and what I've noticed, what I noticed on some of my live streams, sometimes whenever I get trolls, they it will be different accounts, but they all will be saying the same thing. So what I think is going on is the same person just on multiple accounts at once.
Yeah, and it happened the same thing with me. It happened exactly the same thing as me.
So yeah, so I think maybe they found you because of me, and yeah, I didn't start getting serious trolls until okay, so I made a video of saying how he can't be mentioned on my channel anymore, but since I'm not on my channel, so there's a guy named Joshua DeFarina, who
Yeah, I
found me
heard
on.
about him.
Yeah,
I heard.
he's obviously a severely disabled person, and he's so disabled by the fact that he can't think for himself on anything, and a lot of people will make fun of him on YouTube, and it's sad because Josh doesn't understand that people are making fun of him, and so I think that all the trolls from Joshua DeFarina and then found me. But yeah,
Again, I haven't talked about him, but I know that, I believe it was last year or during Thanksgiving or whatever. You were talking about the that that Paul, um, forget that fella's name. He had blonde hair. Um, he did a documentary about the flat Earth, like a fake parody documentary.
oh,
Logan
yeah,
Paul. Logan
yeah,
Paul.
Logan Paul. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, he was doing a. You were doing a Logan Paul, like your own thoughts on that Logan Paul show, and then Josh came, and then after that, you told him not to mention Joshua Decarina.
Yeah. So what happened was after that watch party of Logan Paul's Flat Earth film, I then had an after party afterwards, and this guy named Wretched was asking me about Joshua DeFarina. He was asking for my opinion, and I didn't want to lie, But I pretty much said that I feel sorry for Josh because people make fun of him and he doesn't understand. And and the fact that some of the things Josh does is really absurd, like how he'll make videos saying "Watch me sleep," but yet he's obviously not sleeping. It's because he's recording himself, so he's obviously not sleeping. And
Watch
then
me.
afterwards, all these people came onto my channel and were harassing me, saying that I was talking crap about Josh, starting all of this drama with me about it. And so then that's why afterwards was why that I made that video. Now, one of my most viewed videos of all time, saying how I have new channel rules. Nobody on my YouTube channel is allowed to mention Joshua DeFarina, period.
Yeah, and I have
I had to block so many people because of that.
I have my own YouTube channels about that as well. I have a YouTube channel as well about my rules. No drama, no politics, and no just other things as well. And yes, I heard you guys, but I'm busy talking to Eric.
But yeah, and then afterwards I told Josh, okay, Josh, I can't stop you from watching my videos, but I absolutely can stop you from commenting on them. And so pretty much I told him, you're not allowed to comment on my videos anymore. And I saw that he commented on my live stream last night. As soon as I saw that, I instantly put him in timeout. And I've noticed whenever I put him in timeout, afterwards that he will leave me alone. And
well, maybe he's changed. Maybe he's changed, but who knows?
I hate to say it, but because of how severely disabled he is, I've tried to communicate things to him over and over again, and yet he never will understand anything that you tell him. Sorry, man, but I highly, highly doubt that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, if he's that severely disabled, so Josh is notorious on YouTube because, Josh rants about parents making rules. And I tried explaining to him from 2016 all the way until 2019 or 2020. So from 2016 till 2019, trying to explain to him in all these different ways, why parents discipline their children, but it never would get through to his head. I mean,
I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at the idea that that it's funny. It's funny. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to make fun of him. It's just funny that the way how you say it.
But yeah, and so eventually I realized, trying to explain things to Josh really is a waste of time because nothing you ever will say will ever get through to his head. Nothing.
Speaking of which of rants, I haven't heard you make your own rant videos in quite a while.
But yeah, so this year, making the Things That Piss Me Off movie really took up a lot of time, so yeah, it pretty much was because of the movie version is why that making episodes really, really slowed down. It's because, to make those shorter episodes, it doesn't take as much time, while a feature-length movie takes up a lot more time. So yeah, so pretty much the reason for there not being as many Things That Piss Me Off videos this year primarily was because of the film version of it. So yeah,
I make my own a lot of pissed off videos, and a couple of them were Feather Nazis and Awesome Bros. I don't know if you heard of Feather Nazis before.
No.
Feather Nazis are basically people people that think that all dinosaurs had feathers, and that's not really the case, really.
Yeah, that's
Like,
not true. I
there
mean,
was even there was even a National Geographic paper, and there was an art of sauropods having feathers. I'm not
that's
joking.
absurd.
Yeah, and National Geographic are feather Nazis. They're feather Nazis.
But yeah, I mean, there absolutely was no reason for sauropods to have feathers.
Yeah, there is no actual evidence, and there's even an art of Stegosaurus having feathers, and that's complete bullshit.
Yeah, there's no reason. As far as my understanding goes, there was a ceratopsian that did have some sort of quills.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. It starts with an L. It's a primitive
Yeah,
ceratopsian.
I forgot its name though.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And there was and also, I've been trying to tell feather Nazis of T Rex did not have feathers, and it did not have feathers because of Dr. Thomas Carr's paper that I read. Well, I didn't really read, but I know that it did not have feathers. And it did not have those primitive quill-like feathers. It did not have feathers, period. Also, another thing too is that people are saying that baby T Rexes have feathers. No, because there is no paper evidence saying that baby T Rexes do not have feathers. Not to mention, modern today's animals did not have feathers, and then all of a sudden, poof, they become scaly. It doesn't work like that. So even a baby T Rex did not have feathers.
But yeah, that's interesting. Is because I could have swore that actually was the scientific consensus, like that. As juveniles, they were covered in feathers, but then as they got older, they lost their feathers. I guess that would make sense because when I went on one of my fossil hunts in 2020, actually, as of now, that's been my last fossil hunt because I couldn't go on one this year because of financial reasons. One of the paleontologists there said that during around the late Cretaceous, it actually was a lot hotter back then, and because it was a lot hotter, if the Tyrannosaurus Rex would have had feathers, as in a, if it would have had feathers, and actually, it would have been miserable for it to have feathers, because of how hot it was.
Yeah, but Dromaeosaurus had feathers, obviously, but
Right.
T-Rex itself didn't. So even like an animal that's like the size of an elephant and heavier, it wouldn't make sense that it would have feathers. And since the Maastrichtian 66 Cretaceous gap, it was more like the Florida Everglades. So the Florida Everglades were pretty hot and were very swampy back then. So
From my understanding, the scales on a T-Rex, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they were more like an ostrich.
I don't not so sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, I've heard of that going around, which when Mary Schweitzer found that preserved hemoglobin, the collagen in it was identical to ostrich collagen, so it's possible. But
But then again, like it would have feathers, right? Or then again, it wouldn't have feathers because of Dr. Thomas Carr's paper.
right, yeah, I definitely don't want to say it's for certain because, of course, I don't want to risk to hurt my credibility. But I would just need to see, I would just need to see some physical evidence. And yeah.
Oh yeah, and Awesome Bros. I don't know you've heard of Awesome Bros before, or
No.
have you? Awesome Bros are basically hey Gus. Oh, and good night, Gus. Awesome Bros are basically like they want to make theropod dinosaurs to be actual killing machines and killing like defenseless herbivores. Like for example, even though it was a movie, Jurassic World's Indominus Rex was sort of as a awesome bro kind of monster that wanted to kill everything. And same that also it's the same thing with Jurassic Fight Club. Jurassic Fight Club is sort of as a awesome bro kind of show because it's about animals fighting all the time.
Yeah, which I mean, of course, I mean, animals do fight, but at the same time, though, they definitely don't fight like that, though. I mean, they don't fight all day, every day.
That's why I actually got rid of Jurassic Fight Club because it's not about fight, 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 fight. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I do like fights, but not like that.
But yeah, when it's that much, I mean, that's just absurd. It's because the same thing goes to us people. I mean, are there times when we fight? Absolutely so. Both verbally and physically, absolutely. But all day, every day, that would get exhausting.
Yeah, and it's like, don't you want to make dinosaurs as actual animals instead of rage monsters? Like,
Yeah,
come on.
definitely.
Like, I mean, like putting dinosaurs as monsters in a movie, that's one thing.
Yeah,
Like in
yeah, yeah.
the world, but when it comes for like Jurassic Park, I mean, when it comes for like documentaries, no, that's completely different.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And funny thing you mentioned, when they when they were making Jurassic Park, okay, so let me backtrack. After when they made the movie, when they were promoting it, they were heavily sugarcoating it. They were saying, "Oh, this is the most realistic depiction of dinosaurs you will ever see." But then 20 years later, Jack Horner said in an interview that him and Spielberg would fight all the time. Like, Jack Horner wanted them to be more scientifically accurate, while Spielberg was more concerned about making them scary. Jack Horner brought up how we have evidence of what color dinosaurs were because of their preserved melanosomes, and then Spielberg said that colored dinosaurs are not scary. And because Spielberg had a lot more power than Jack Horner did, Spielberg usually would win. So yeah, and so that right there is proof, like, that during all the promotion of Jurassic Park, when they said that, oh, we want to make these dinosaurs realistic, that's a load of bullshit.
I mean, they're realistic as rage monsters, but if you're comparing like accurate animals, no, they're not.
Yeah,
Even
definitely not. I mean, we
even
have
the,
no evidence that eyesight of T-Rex is based off of movement. We have
well,
no evidence
Tyrannosaurus,
that Dilophosaurus, had that frill and could spit out venom. We have no evidence of
well,
it.
Tyrannosaurus Rex actually had good eyesight in the
Yes, it
animal
did.
kingdom. So even like if you try to stand still, of course it would see you.
So yeah, and T-Rex's eyes were more front center in the skull rather than sideways, and it's
Yeah,
because of that was why that it had really good eyesight.
yeah. Their eyesight was very similar to crocodilians and birds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, but granted, I can see why Spielberg put that in the movie, because he was wanting to have that suspenseful scene of the characters looking right at the T-Rex and whatnot and having to stay still. Creatively speaking, I can see why he put that in.
yeah.
I mean, is it scientifically accurate? No, but but it
Even
did add for good entertainment, though.
also another thing too is that Dr. Thomas Carr actually said that the Tyrannosaurus design is actually very inaccurate in terms of like its face structure and its body. And I actually kind of agree, but that doesn't mean that I don't hate the thing.
Right, yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean it's a bad design.
It's just movie like accuracy wise, it's bad, but movie wise, if you don't care about accuracy, then yeah.
Which is funny, like how, during that, so with the opening scene of Jurassic World Dominion, there's that scene that takes place in the Cretaceous period, and people are complaining how T-Rex and Giganotosaurus never lived side by side, but this is the same universe like where Velociraptor is found in Montana.
Velociraptor was not found in Montana.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, during the opening scene of Jurassic Park, when they're digging out that dinosaur, it was a Velociraptor in Montana, which that's not where it was found, not even close. It was found
Yeah,
all the way in Mongolia.
yeah, that's why that's the name Velociraptor mongoliensis.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, granted, it would have made more sense to replace Iguanodon with Edmontosaurus, for Jurassic World Dominion.
And then with the sauropod Dreadnoughtus, with Alamosaurus. Alamosaurus was found, well, was in the 66 million years, but Alamosaurus was not found in Hell Creek. It was found in Texas, but there has been fossil evidence of Alamosaurus being attacked by T Rex, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
And then with the Nodoceratops, it would be Triceratops.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah. Now all those things, I can, doing those changes would make sense to me at least. But yeah. And and if they just replace the T-Rex with just another Giganotosaurus,
Or another T Rex.
I just think that would just take away, the character arc of the T-Rex.
Yeah, I'm also really pissed off that the T Rex that T Rex had feathers, and I find it complete bullshit.
Yeah, when there's no evidence of that, and the fact that from the leaked footage clips that I saw, the T-Rex roared when there's no evidence like that, like that T-Rex ever did roar. We actually have evidence like that it actually did not.
Yeah, but I actually made a video about that dinosaurs don't roar, but there are some people that attack me and say, "Well, birds roar." They don't really
they
roar.
don't.
They
They
don't
don't roar. I'm like, okay,
They don't
okay.
because
Either they are trolling or they're severely undereducated.
yeah, birds just scream. Dinosaurs bellow or make like I don't know about chirp. Well, maybe some of them, but they would just make like I don't know, like they wouldn't roar like lions or tigers or
Yeah, absolutely not.
elephants.
Because roaring is more of a mammalian trait.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they would just. I think they would do something a bit different. And since Tyrannosaurus' brain was more similar to crocodilians, it would make sense that Tyrannosaurus would sound more like an alligator. I was actually thinking about like if I did a documentary, I would just do like recording sounds of crocodilians and birds, and then put it in a dinosaur documentary.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen one. In most dinosaur documentaries you see, the dinosaurs usually do roar, but if there is a documentary out there where it's more scientifically accurate, like with their sounds, that would be great. But what I've noticed, a lot of them will just use copyright-free dinosaur roars. But that's what I loved about Walking with Dinosaurs. Even though it wasn't scientifically accurate with them roaring, but at least that they got more creative, like with the roars. And at least that they created their own roars.
Yeah, they did. Like if I did like let's just say a sound of a Tyrannosaurus, I would just use a recording sound of an American alligator and try to make it more deeper. Like try to record it, but like put it like deeper and deeper and deeper. And like when it's in pain, I would just use like some kind of bird sound, like a large bird or something like that.
Yeah, I am curious though, like how they came up with the roar for the T-Rex and Walking with Dinosaurs.
I know it just sounds awesome. I really love the sound of the T-Rex from Walking with Dinosaurs, and yeah, it's still my favorite T-Rex. Even though yes, it's shrink wrapped, but I still love it.
But yeah,
and I guess you know what shrink wrap is, right? Do you know what shrink wrapped?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the animal's like a bit skinny.
Yeah. But yeah, the design may not be fully accurate, but even though it's not accurate, it still is a cool design nonetheless.
Yeah, and another thing too is that we know that Tyrannosaurus was not really sexually dimorphic. There is no evidence of females being larger than males because because there is no actual evidence. So Walking with Dinosaurs was pretty wrong of that. I guess it's because of the birds and dinosaurs debate, but then again, some modern archosaurs females are smaller than males still. Like for
Yeah,
example, crocodilians.
I believe
Like
the consensus is that the female T Rexes were bigger than the males, though, right?
no, there is no actual evidence. There is no actual evidence that females are larger than males.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
what I heard is that Sue could also be a male T Rex.
yeah. From my understanding, they don't know if it was a male or female. The only reason why it's named Sue, it was named after the person who found
Yeah.
who found the specimen.
Yeah. Oh, look, Kenny's here.
Oh, Kenny's
T-Rex
here.
did not have feathers cause T-Rex did not evolve into chickens called uh, T-Rex was not related to a chicken, Kenny. It's not a
I,
chicken.
I mean, it was a theropod, but not in the same family whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. T-Rex was more similar to crocodilians. Its brain was more similar to crocodilians, so its behavior was more crocodilian.
Yeah, pretty much. It behaved like a crocodile, but it had more of the body of
Of a bird.
body of a bird. In a way, even though that, I mean, it didn't have wings, but what I mean, it's it had the three toes. Its legs were in the
Yeah.
back, and
Same with the documentary Allosaurus. Allosaurus, they explain it perfectly. They said that so Al was behaved more like a crocodile, but built like a bird. And they explain it perfectly. That Walking with Dinosaurs special documentary. So Dromaeosaurus are actually more like birds than crocodilians. But I think dinosaurs turn. That's not an opinion, Kenny. You're a troll asshole. I don't know if I should block this fella or not.
I mean, like we said, at least Kenny's more fun. I mean, Kenny's not being disrespectful though.
Well, Kenny may not be disrespectful, but he's annoying as fuck.
Maybe we could just put him in timeout.
Timeout. Oh, put him in timeout. Timeout. Oh, how did you got into Beavis and Butthead?
So I remember my older brother used to watch it, but that was when he wasn't supposed to watch it because my parents banned him from watching it.
Oh,
and then I remember in 6th grade, I saw the Beavis and Butthead movie at Movie Gallery. That was back before that shut down. And then I remember I rented it from from Movie Gallery, and I thought the movie was absolutely hilarious. And so, afterwards, I really got into Beavis and Butthead. I remember that, that I actually still have all the seasons and whatnot, and but I mean, I still like the show, but I definitely don't watch it as much as I used to, though. But yeah,
my parents don't like that show.
my parents don't either. I mean, the only adult that I've ever met who liked that show, surprisingly, actually was a pastor.
Wow, that's bizarre.
But yeah, he said that he liked that show because of the fact that they don't make fun of God in that show. So that's why he didn't mind that show. But yeah,
Whether a lot of people don't like the show is because there was this 5-year-old kid that set his there was a 5-year-old kid that set his house on fire and he killed his sister because he was watching that show Beavis and Butthead, so they traumatized.
like afterwards, there was one episode where he was about to say fire, but then after that he stopped himself, and then for the new season, that came out 10 years ago, because all that time passed, was why Beavis was finally was able to say fire again.
Yeah. And yeah, Beavis and Butthead actually came out 2011, and then they stopped because they weren't so funny as much as they used to. But I heard that they're coming back this year. I heard.
I mean, personally, I thought that new season was absolutely hilarious, but maybe that's just me. But yeah, and it took them long enough to finally come back. I mean, 10 years later now. And but yeah, I heard they're going to do a new season for Paramount Plus, and they're also finally going to make a sequel to the movie.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. But then again, my parents will complain to me.
Mine probably will
You know,
too. I mean, granted, I do live out on my own now, so
yeah, and I might live on my own too because I'm actually getting a house.
awesome, man, awesome.
Yeah, I may get a house. It really depends really how I live because like for example, like I don't know how to cook. Um I'm not good at like cooking and stuff. That's the problem with me.
I mean, uh, you could take some cooking classes.
Well, then again, I mean like I can figure things out. Besides, it's not like super far away where my parents are. The house is like 3 minutes away where my parents are, so they can figure things out. Well, we will figure things out, me and my
But
family.
yeah, man, your own house. So yeah, so you're not talking about an apartment. You're talking about a house.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, at the time I really wanted to get an apartment, but the complexes didn't call me and anything, and I think it's because of COVID. So then and since my mom's like a landlord, she found like this house.
Oh, that makes sense with your mom being a landlord.
Yeah. I'm not really. I don't know if I should really talk about this, my business. That I don't know, but I don't know.
But yeah, with my old apartment, man, I got lucky when I found it because I found it the year before COVID hit. And and to think if I was still living with my parents when COVID hit, because I was an essential employee, that would have been a disaster.
Yeah, yeah. So technically speaking, I hate to say this, but I still live with my parents, and yes, some people make fun of me saying, "Yeah, this kid lives with his parents." Wah.
For some people, they just can't afford financially like to go live on their own though.
Yeah,
But yeah, and you're how old again?
I'm 24.
Okay. Have um, have you tried to find a house or an apartment sooner?
Yeah,
And did you not have any luck?
no, we didn't have luck at all. But then all of a sudden, like this week, we just found the house. Well, my mom found the house.
Nice, man. Well, I certainly hope that works out for you, man.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But yeah, it definitely felt weird for me to finally move out of my parents' house.
Yeah. Were you very lonely back then?
Well, I remember my very first night at my old apartment. I remember I heard people talking outside, and that was the first indicator to me that I'm definitely not at my parents' house anymore. And it was hard for me to sink that in because I lived with my parents for my entire life until then,
Yeah.
and and yeah, and then the year after that COVID hit, and because of COVID, I definitely was a lot more lonely. But if it wasn't for me having Simba, I would have been a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, I have my dog Buck with me. When I get that house, I'm taking him with me.
And what kind of dog is he?
He's a Doberman. And I do have another dog too, Ginger. She's an Airedale, but she's going to be with my parents. So, yeah, and she likes my parents more than me.
And what kind of dog is it?
Um, which one?
The one that you're gonna take with you?
Uh, a Doberman.
And are Dobermans big dogs or medium-sized dogs?
They're big. They're like between like somewhere between the 80s to 100 pounds.
Okay, well, it will be a lot easier to have a bigger dog at a house because at an apartment, though, that's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah, because and Dobermans are very energetic. Like they need to run all the time. They're built like they're like a greyhound almost. I mean, they have greyhound in them. I'm surprised you never heard of a Doberman before.
I mean, I have, but visually, I just can't remember what it looks like, though.
It's a black and tan dog with cropped ears.
Okay.
It's like a Rottweiler basically, but it's very skinnier, but a little bit taller than a Rottweiler, but less muscle mass. But they're very protective. A little fun fact too is that the guy who created the breed, his name was Carl Frederick Lewis Doberman.
Oh, so I can see where he got the name from then.
Yeah, he was a tax collector, and a lot of people threatened him, so he decided to create his own breed, which was the Doberman.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he used Rottweiler, Greyhound, German Pinscher, and possibly German Shepherd, but I don't know. Who really knows, really?
Yeah, definitely.
The Doberman's a young breed. It was bred during 1899, so it's still a young dog. Anyways, what are you saying?
I'm curious, who was the one who invented the Beagle? Because, of course, Beagles are my absolute favorite breed of dogs. So,
I heard
yes.
that Beagles were bred during England at the time.
Yeah, I believe that you're correct on that. In, like, the 18 or so hundreds?
Yeah, the 1800s. Beagles, I heard that they were bred to hunt down, like, rabbits.
Yeah, which, of course, whenever my dog sees a rabbit, he's definitely going to be very, very determined to go after it.
Oh, Kenny's back. He said, evolution is a lie in Latin.
Evolution means to lie in Latin. No, evolution in Latin is evolutio, and it does not mean to lie in Latin.
I'm putting you in timeout again, Kenny.
That one's similar to the NASA means to deceive in Hebrew argument from flat earthers. I mean, even that's not true. I mean, NASA is an acronym, so it's not even a Hebrew word. The closest there is nashah, which means to lift.
Oh, you know Rake Young from Jackass or Vita LeBam?
Yeah.
Did you know that he's a scientist?
I did not.
Yeah, apparently, like he like works for like chemicals and shit, and he won like the best like student award or from middle school or high school, or whatever. Like He loves science, and that's why like they always pick on him a lot because he's a scientist. But at the same time, he looks like a fucking metal crackhead. Well, a metal addict fella, whatever he is.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
It's
and
ironic that he's a scientist when he's famous for being in Jackass.
yeah. Well, he was. I wouldn't say he's in. Well, he's kind of in Jackass, but not like. He's just really famous from Vita La Bam. He's one of
Yeah.
Bam Margera's friends. Anyways, oh yeah, and he hates mustard. Did you know that?
I don't remember that. So yeah, about Jackass with the new movie coming out. Yeah, I heard it's gonna be the last one. It's because most of the Jackass crew, like they said, like with their age, they said that they feel like that they're getting too old to be doing all that now. So yeah, so from my understanding, Jackass Forever is going to be the last one, but there is a possibility that maybe they could continue on with Jackass, but just with different people, all in all. But if they did that, it wouldn't be the same though to have Jackass without Johnny Knoxville.
Well, Knoxville's 49,
So
but
yeah,
Steve-O's like in his 40s.
so yeah, and also on the fact that because Steve-O has been sober now, is the reason why that's the reason why back then was why he did most of the stunts because back then Steve-O like was doing drugs at that time, but
Yeah.
then when he got sober, like so he got sober when they did Jackass 3. And then it was at that time, like, was when Steve-O finally realized, the stuff that he was doing. So yeah, I actually did meet Steve-O in like 2012.
Yeah, you told me. I remember, and I saw a picture of you and Steve-O.
Yeah, I looked kind of different back then because that was when my hair was a lot longer.
Like the emo kid.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that was the look I had all throughout high school, and yeah, I mean, it definitely was cool to meet him in person. But yeah, I feel like that it's because of all the drugs is the reason why his voice is the way that it is.
Yeah, but I really like Steve-O because Steve-O's like he laughs a lot and he's really funny still. Oh yeah, another thing too is that when he was with Chef Ramsay, I think it was like this year or it was last year, he actually poured his hot sauce up to his eyeball.
Oh yikes!
He
That's
was like,
similar to what
it's pretty
that's
funny though.
similar to what he did when I met him. When I met him, he poured lemon juice into his eyes.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, and also like he was in this comedy tour and he was running up to Mike Tyson's fist.
Oh man.
He and Mike Tyson are actually best pals because at the time when Steve was on drugs, Mike Tyson he was also on drugs too a little bit, and Steve said, "Well, Mike Tyson said, why are you on cocaine? You're actually a good, nice guy, Steve-O," something like that.
But yeah,
They were doing drugs like at the bathroom at the time.
but yeah, maybe. But yeah, maybe Steve-O got into drugs, maybe because he was hanging out with the wrong crowd. Because that definitely can happen to people. When you hang out with the wrong crowd, it definitely can have that impact on you. I mean, that's what happened to me in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, I hang out with the wrong crowd of people a couple of times back in the day, but it's over with.
But yeah, just as long as we learn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, when I was trying, oh yeah, I got this Godzilla hot sauce And I was thinking of, I told this lady, there was this new geek store place, and I said to her that I should pour hot sauce up my eyeball, and she just like said, "Don't do it," and I
Dude,
didn't do it. I'm not crazy like that.
no, because that can screw up your eyesight, and that sounds excruciatingly painful. So
But
yeah, screw that.
but it's funny though.
Yeah, but you have to think if it's worth it on your part. You know, like to screw up your eyesight.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
wasn't it Chris Pontius or Ryan Dunn who shoved the toy car up his butt? And
Yeah, it was Ryan Dunn. He shoved a toy car up his ass. Originally, it was supposed to be Steve-O, but he decided no. So they
yeah,
it was Ryan Dunn.
Steve-O did it because the fact that his dad said, you know, if you do that, I'm going to be so disappointed in you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if I was his dad, I probably would feel the same way too. You know, thinking that, son, I raised you so much better.
Yeah, but I would laugh though at the same time.
So yeah, I mean, could you imagine how painful it was for Ryan Dunn to poop it out?
Yeah. Oh, and maybe I'll just throw hot sauce up my nose then, not my eyes. At least the nose, you don't lose vision of your nose.
Yeah, I remember I saw these homemade jackass videos like 10 years ago. There was this one guy like who nailed like that. He nailed his ears down onto pieces of wood like with nails.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, dude, that's. I mean, his ears could get infected because of that.
I remember I did the cinnamon challenge, and that was painful. And I also did the cinnamon challenge while riding my bike, and that's dangerous though. But it's so funny. I also did the Old Bay challenge.
I remember 11 years ago now. I was inside of a porta potty. It was late at night. I was with, well, two friends. I say that because that they weren't actually my friends. I had to go to the bathroom really bad, so I went inside of the porta potty. Then afterwards, I heard some teenagers pull over. I heard them talking and I heard them laughing. I shrugged it off because I didn't think anything was going to happen. But then guess what happened?
What?
I kid you not, they knocked me over in the porta potty.
Ah, that's just wrong.
Even worse is that when I fell, the door fell flat completely on the ground. So I had to roll. I had to roll the whole entire porta potty in order for me to get out.
Shit.
And I smelled so bad walking back to my house because that was before that I had a car or a driver's license. So I walked all the way home smelling literally like crap, and it took me 3 days just to wash the clothes that I was wearing.
Oh man, that sucks.
I was pissed. I was beyond pissed.
Yeah, I hate punky kids. Like even though of course that like I'm 24 years old still, but I still don't like kids. I don't know why. Kids just piss me off for some reason. I know that I shouldn't say that, but still they piss me off.
Especially with something like that, you know. I know that was 11 years ago, but that was horrible.
Yeah. And I'm also pissed off that those kids, well, I don't even know if they were kids or not, maybe they were drug addicts, but they threw the 9/11 memorial. They threw trash at the
That's
9/11 memorial.
that's really screwed up. I mean,
And you know what's also effed up is that the next day there was trash again at the 9/11 memorial. Next day, next day, next day.
so yeah, so yeah, they clearly don't have any respect for the people who died. I mean, I mean, I mean, you know, I mean, could you imagine just how offended like that the families would be?
Exactly.
And that's why that when they made the 9/11 movies, some of the families were willing to participate, but some of them said that it was too painful.
Uh, what's your Christian? I'm a retard Mario. What's your?
Retarded Mario, I have a question.
I am a retarded Mario. I have a question. It's
Okay,
just
I'm
so
not gonna lie, that's pretty funny.
like it's I I know that yes the like that word's bad. It's just that it's the YouTuber's name that's funny because I don't like Mario. I mean, I didn't even know Mario, and I don't like Mario to begin with.
You know, me personally, I grew up more of a Sonic fan.
I know that Sonic and Mario are like basically the same company. Well, they're both Sega, I believe.
Well, no, Sonic is Sega and Mario is Nintendo, which is ironic because Mario and Sonic used to be really big rivals in like the 90s. And it's ironic to think that Sonic games are on Nintendo consoles now. And it's also ironic to think that there's the Mario and Sonic at the Epic Games now.
Do you have a Mario type water? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know Mario. I don't know. I don't know about Mario. I am a retard Mario.
But yeah, maybe it's a Sonic fan like who's trying to troll Mario.
Yeah, I'm not a Mario fan, so
I'm not really either, but some of the Mario games are fun, like Mario Kart.
and
You
I
know,
don't.
Super Smash Brothers Brawl. I never could get into those games, just me personally.
I used to have Super Smash Bros on the Wii, and I used to play. And when I was at my cousin's, I used to play Super Smash Bros on the what's that? It's not a Game Boy, a GameCube. GameCube. Oh my God, GameCube.
Yeah, I actually still have my GameCube, but I mostly had Sonic games on it. I also had Time Splitters Future Perfect. Oh man, that game is so much fun.
Oh, remember years ago? I mean, not years ago, but like remember last year we were talking about like what if Dap there was a video game about Ken Hovind and Dapper Dino,
Oh yeah,
one of the main characters.
I actually remember. I actually was the one like who brought that up.
Yeah, you were the one. I actually made this idea. What if there was like a giant head of Ken Hovind and it would be like planetary Ken Hovind? It would be like similar to the Dragon Ball Super manga, this character named Moro who was defeated by Goku and then he just turned himself, well, he was exploiting himself and then he fused the planet, made himself into like a planetary level character.
But
Like,
yeah, it's
imagine
just that
Ken Hovind. Imagine
before
Ken Hovind was like that. I'm
that
sorry,
would be
what?
funny, but but for a Dapper Dino video game, what exactly like would his abilities be, and like would he just bite people or what, or would he have like a gun or what?
I don't know.
I mean, because he's a dinosaur, I guess it would make sense for him to bite, but
He was
but I
just
also
dodge Ken Hovind's like atomic breath or something like that.
yeah, like say maybe throughout the game you can get power ups. Like say during the beginning of the game, like you start off like by biting people, but then you get your power ups. Like say you can get an atomic breath, similar to Godzilla, because Dapper Dino's obviously a Godzilla fan. And then maybe say that you can get a sword and then a gun and then like a whip, and then then say for the final boss. The final boss definitely should be Kent Hovind,
Yeah,
and
Ken
then
Hovind would be like a boss character, like a final boss character.
Oh man, that would be awesome. And yeah, and
Yeah, and Arceus Jr. should also be in the video game as well. He would just like make fun of Kent as a distraction. Like,
I
what do you
mean,
want, okay?
I mean, Erica the Gut Sick Given, she probably would be in the video game too. Like, maybe she could be like the other playable character.
Arn Ra would be like a DLC. No, I wouldn't say a DLC, but like he would be like, I don't know.
Speaking of Aaron Raw, because of the fact that Aaron Raw made it onto the front cover of my DVD, which I totally wasn't expecting Brandon to do that for the front cover, but because of that, and because Aaron Raw is in my movie, you know, the thought has came across my mind, to send him a message telling him that he made onto the front cover of my movie, and the fact that he is in the movie. So I thought about, maybe sending him a copy of it.
Yeah, wait. What does this YouTuber say? Would you eat cat hair for a plush shake? What? No.
That's gross.
Yeah. Anyways, what do you? Oh yeah. Yeah. Who's Brandon? Who's Brandon?
Brandon Johnson. I actually did do an interview with him on my second channel. Brandon Johnson, he is the one responsible for the logos and the character design for Eric the Tyrannoceratops, and he also is the one responsible for the DVD cover art for the Dinosaur Deniers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known Brandon for like 9 years now. Tim and I became friends because of YouTube, actually.
Another thing that I would also be very interested is like, what if like Kent Hovind, like, this is another wacky thing. What if Kent Hovind like possessed Dapper Dino's body or something? Like, what if like he went inside of Dapper Dino, no pun intended, and like controlled him like as like a puppet or whatever, just like Baby did with Vegeta in Dragon Ball GT? That would be very crazy.
What I think would be cool, maybe if the Dapper Dino video game like was similar to like a Super Nintendo game, and then maybe it could be a combo of like Pokemon on the GBA and maybe the Dragon Ball Z games on the Game Boy Advance, and maybe in and and yeah, like have the video game like be like a mixture like of other games. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Arn Ra would have to be like the main person to defeat. I guess you can call this character the the Kent Dapper or whatever he is, like, or basically Ken Hovind possessing Dapper Dino. He would have to
oh,
use like this.
I just thought of an idea. So maybe the other enemies, like could just be regular old young Earth creationists. So like say that they'll wear an AIG shirt and they'll be spouting out logical fallacies like evolution is just a theory, and maybe they could put in like a Ken Ham, like maybe Ken Ham could be one of like the earlier bosses, and uh and yeah, definitely put in Mr. Batman as a boss, and then and then say the more young Earth creationists who you shoot or like who you destroy, the more power ups that you get. So yeah, but maybe it could be for the majority of the game. It could be, the game could be like a platformer game,
Yeah,
and then say and then during parts of it, it'll change to like a Pokemon game or a Dragon Ball Z game.
But then again, it would be like a rip-off Pokemon or Dragon Ball game, so it would be a huge copyright strike. It would be something different, though.
Well, I mean, make it similar, but not a direct ripoff. But yeah, they could maybe do
Like,
that.
like for example, like Dapper Dino can't do like a Kamehameha or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely not. Because if he did, then
It would
he
be
definitely would
cool
get a
though.
copyright.
It would be cool though, and funny though. But at the same time, it would be a ripoff.
I mean, maybe instead of saying Kamehameha, he can then say, "You don't understand a scientific theory."
Yeah, you don't understand scientific theory. Die. Oh.
Now that would be funny. And then, oh man, maybe. Oh, I just thought of this. Maybe for the final boss, maybe say as a reference, like to Godzilla, maybe say like the Kent Hovind gets some sort of powers and whatnot, and he becomes really, really big, and then and then they can explain how Dapper Dino gets really big, and then maybe that could be the final boss fight.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like if Dapper like transform into like a Godzilla looking character, and like he fights against like a giant Hoven or something like that. That would be like a Godzilla like a kaiju fight.
Yeah, that would be awesome if they did that. But yeah, I actually completely forgot that I even brought that up. I actually do have an old acquaintance of mine who said that he moved to Oregon so that he could work on video games. I haven't spoken to him in years though, but yeah,
The problem is, what game would that rated be? Would it be M rated or would it be T rated?
I say at least T at minimum, M at the most.
Yeah, because there would be a little bit of profanity. And Ken Hover would be like, "Oh, I do not like profanity, Hover." I mean, I understand he's a Christian, but still, like, I don't know. Oh, Kenny's back.
What did he say?
Natural selection means I'm not good with.
Okay. Natural selection means deception and It means deception in Swahili.
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay, let's look that up.
That's why evolution is evil. No, it's not evil. Evolution's not evil, Kenny.
In
Oh, and Kenny would be like one of Ken Hoven's henchmen or something because
Yeah, I definitely can see that. Okay, natural selection in Swahili is
Wasili. Uteuzi Wasili.
okay. Meaning okay. Okay, I see nothing about deception here.
yeah, Kenny, you don't know what you're talking about. That's it. I'm blocking you. I mean, I already put you in timeout, but somehow you magically come back. So
Well, the reason
you,
is because a timeout only will last for 5 minutes.
oh, it would. I thought it lasts like a month or like six
Nope,
months.
only for 5 minutes.
Oh man.
So that's probably why.
Yeah. Henry Hardison. Yeah, I remember that. Your villain or whatever.
It's deception in Swahili. I'm okay, I'm okay, after when I tried to exit out of Safari, I was meaning to click on Facebook, but I accidentally clicked on YouTube. So yeah, I totally didn't mean to do that. But yeah, sometimes I wonder how Kenny even found me, but who knows, man.
Yeah, who knows?
But
Well,
yeah,
I'm about to go to bed. It's nice talking to you, Eric.
yeah, man, you too. I think that I might be going to bed soon, also.
Yeah. Right now it's almost 10 o'clock, like 1 minute from 10. But
Holy crap, man! It's pretty late over there.
yeah, well, then again, like, I live in New Jersey and you live, like, in Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't know how you live in Montana because Montana's pretty cool.
But yeah, so the thing about Montana, it's either really hot or really cold. The winters here can last a long time.
Yeah, but I thought Montana's like the middle of nowhere.
Some parts of it, yeah, but not all of it, though.
Yeah, so you're lucky.
But yeah, and that's why Montana is like the perfect place to find dinosaur fossils at.
Yeah, well, same with South Dakota and Wyoming and etc. But yeah. Well, anyways, I'll see you later. I might do another live stream next week.
All right, man. If I can come, I definitely will. But if not, there's
Yeah, it
always
is what it is.
time.
Yeah. See you later.
Later, man.
Yep. See you later, fellas.